All right, everybody. What up, my dogs? It's 8:49. It's November 3rd. It's Friday. We just had a jobs report where a little bad news is good news. So this way the Fed knows it doesn't have to do too much. So we're getting a little bit of an extension, which is what we said could happen. A bit of an overthrow. Hope you're having a great week. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's version of the 630 Club. Some guys like, hey, Red Dog, that was a freaking crazy video you did from your sauna this morning. I'm like, what's so crazy about it? That's what I do every single day. I get up, I go in the sauna, I look at what's happening around the world, I think about my positions, I think about things I have to do, try and put myself in the right frame of mind to make the right decisions based on the right conditions. I sweat out about 3 pounds of water, which is good. So this way, rinse, repeat, and then I go outside, I jump in my ice barrel, and now it's getting a little cold out there. It is getting a little cold out there. And I think this finger gets a little, edgy. My Morton's toe feels like it's going to fall off. I get out, and then everything kind of starts heating up, and you feel good. And then I head into work, and then put together about 30 different charts. This way, I could then get it out to the Alpha team. I can get it out to Red Roll Access. This is the Alpha team right here. These are my dogs that hang out with me every single day. Let's see if they can hear me and say hello. Anybody out there in the Alpha team? Test Alpha team, test Alpha team. Oh, there's a wolf. Oh, we got LP, we got Radha, we got the crew. All right. Um, Basically, that's what the virtual trade floor looks like. They get to see my positions when I put them on, when I take them off, when I add to them, when I reduce, when I trade around them. Helps breed some confidence, if they're thinking the same thing, etc. And I'll tell you, this week's been a pretty good week. Yesterday, I did sell some premium to have on as a hedge. Okay, I've sold the 434s and the 433s, but that's after being long the 420s and 421s from Monday that I get out on Wednesday. I did buy some SPYs pre-market below 430 to play the middle, which had just started to reduce. So you can see, like here, SPYs were a buy at 717, so they saw me buying the 430. I just reduced into this, trading around positions. Also came in long. I've been trying to be long some of the go-to names this week, right? Long some Microsoft, had a good report, shown leadership. Meta shown leadership. AMD, not so bad. Fortunately, I sold my Amazon a little early. I'm not in Tesla, but you know what? You can't kiss all the babies. You don't got to be in everything to net some money, right? Anyway, what do you guys think of this song? It's an AI Beatles remix song. Pretty crazy, right? That's what this world's come down to. You get a lot of things. Got to embrace it, buddy. What up, Grab? All right. So you guys want to see some levels? Okay, let's go see some levels. So here's the SPYs. Okay, this was your low from last week after a move down from the October 17th pocket pivot. Sentiment was getting real bearish. The oscillator was minus 45. So it was one of those situations. Whenever the oscillator is minus 45, you don't want to be short. Doesn't mean you could blindly buy, because I've seen a minus 70, I've seen a minus 77, but chances are, you can get some kind of bounce. And then on Monday, remember, they trapped some of the bears, and this day was when I got into some more swing longs. Some of the positions that were acting well, that already reported earnings, like your Meta, like your Microsoft, like your Netflix. I sold my Netflix yesterday. I'm allowed to take some trades too, right? And anyway, and then you had some names do some red dog reversals, okay, which gave you nice cash flow. Even though they looked poorly, you had Kramer all day talking about the worst charts in NVIDIA and Tesla, but meanwhile, they were claim levels and they turned into good oversold buys, and now we'll see where they go from here. So anyway, with that being said, we're opening above 430.91. I've reduced most of the SPYs. This is probably, I would think this is a brick wall. 437, 438. That's the downtrend line from the highs in July. I would think it, be really hard to get above there. Like, I'm okay with 433, 434. Is that if I'm just going to hold through, I'm collecting premium, and if I get short there on Monday, I think even if we push through it, we'll come back to it, and that'll be my hedge. And I'll continue to try and find some longs to stay with. If you go look at the Qs, the Qs have 368-ish would be a level, okay, which would be the downtrend, where I would think we should pause. Doesn't mean we have to after a move like we've seen. I would think this would be an area where it's a better sell than a buy, in my humble opinion. Um, IWM's turned into one of my best trades. 2 days ago, I'm like, I think we're going to broaden out. I think if this fourth quarter rally is real, IWM could just have a broken bounce. So, PS, what we did is what did we do? On Wednesday, I bought the 165s for a 2.25, sold them yesterday into 5, and then rolled them up. What do I mean by rolling them up? It means that I didn't want to have as much risk. So, what did we do? I bought the 172s and the 171s. For just to stay with it. And right now they're also participating. So what's the IWM doing? The IWM, look at that, looky, up 250. So for this, what I might do is I might create a call spread. My target on this was about 176-ish. So what I might do is I might sell some of the ones that I'm long to net, and then I'll sell some premium above. So I'll use the action to fund the call spread to keep me long for next week. So these are all different types of tactics. Not everyone can do all these types of things. Some people just like to buy stock and trade them and not trade options and not hedge by shorting premium, etc. It all depends on where you are in your trading life. Um, so these are some of the better names. I've been long Meta pretty much since in here. Okay, when it started to put its inside pocket pivot yesterday. I always net money and I try and sell into strength. So selling Meta was up 5 yesterday, gave me the wherewithal to be able to buy a dip, which I did, and I trimmed a little bit. I would think at some point this is going to take out this 326 to 330 area and go. Microsoft's been best in breed. Got long in this pocket pivot, also was able to add and even add yesterday and then sell some. This morning I will be trimming and I'll be managing it. That's been 2 good swing trades. You had a lot of pro earnings gaps, right? What's a pro earnings gap? It's a big move post earnings that you could buy against the gap pivot, and that also worked. Where did that work? Well, a lot of guys made good money with ANET, right? Pro earnings gap, gave you a candle, took out the post earnings high, and look at that move. That's a way to create cash flow, right? Yes. Same thing we did with Netflix. Netflix gave you a pro earnings gap, gave you move one, gave you a buyable dip, and now this is above its descending trend line. I sold mine yesterday just because I feel like I got to take some trades. I got to net money. I got to move forward. Remember 2 weeks ago, I remember I was on the plane. I watched Creed. I haven't watched Creed in a while, and Rocky was coaching Creed, saying one punch, one round, move forward. And at that point, a lot of traders were all beat up, and I was just trying to give them something to think about, which would be, in my humble opinion, like one setup, execute with confidence, net money, get out of your hole, move forward. Next setup, next trade, next setup, next trade. What are you going to do in order to think clearly so you can execute that next trade? And for me, I like to sweat out 3 pounds of water in the sun and then go in an ice cold barrel. Then I come into work feeling good. Then guess what I have? Ooh, a little ginger shot and a little green drink, right? Let's see, does it even work? Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, this is not coming in here. Hold on a sec. Um, Here, okay, so that's another pro earnings gap. Then Amazon, that gave you a pro earnings gap. So even if you didn't want to take option plays into the prints, you were able to then approach them after the prints and make money. So what are 2 more that I think might work? Well, look at Palantir. I know it's not the best name in the world, but pro earnings gap. It could be long versus 1722, and in time maybe takes out this descending trend line. What's another one that came out? Shop yesterday. Pro earnings gap. Some guys are long versus area gets above this. It also has a descending trend line to deal with. So once a stock reports its earnings, you then could also approach it and make money. Anyway, everyone's talking a little bit about Apple. Back in the day, they used to call me the Apple trader. I do trade Apple from time to time. I move really onto Tesla, moves faster, and then I have other things. But last night I talked about, if it's just in line, 171-ish would probably be a level that it needs to hold. If not, you have 166-ish. And so far this morning, 171.50 held. Chances are buybacks back on. I know it's not the growth company it used to be, but you can get a dividend. They buy it for safety. There's liquidity. Chances are, you're better off buying Apple than selling it. And it's not like Apple, is at 198 or 188 or 182. It probably holds in here, rebuilds, and then at some point in to the end of the year, you get another move. That's my humble opinion. As far as other things, I would not be chasing this up open, to be honest. It's going to be a tricky short, but I would not be chasing it. The time you could have bought Tesla, okay, you guys want a little red dog reversal lesson? Somebody was beating me up on Twitter saying, well, red dog reversal only works 50% of the time. That's not true. Okay, what a red dog reversal does, or an RDR, which you could YouTube, because there's a lot of examples out there, it gives you the rubber match spot. It gives you the spot where the active bulls and active bears are fighting to see who has short-term control. And if you look at Tesla had a bad report. Yes, they underwhelmed. And it went from here, which was 247, all the way down to 194. And then what happened? On what I think this was Tuesday, it went below 194, couldn't stay below. Okay, so the shorts that wanted to continue to 185 lost. You could have bought here 194.67 with a 60-cent stop. Then you had an inside day that showed a little power and closed well. And then yesterday you had some power. And now I would not be buying Tesla, to be honest. I don't know if you could just blindly short Tesla today, but I would not be looking to add at 222-ish. Sometime I might test this 230-ish, but I'm just saying, day 4 up, probably not the best thing to do is to chase there. And then if you're going to short Versa level. Same thing with NVIDIA. Everyone was talking about a head and shoulders top pattern. Yes, there was a head and shoulders top pattern in NVIDIA, but guess what? On Tuesday, the bears lost the ball. They tried to break it below the neckline. They couldn't hold it below the neckline. My buddy Lou friggin' crushed it, making great money for 20 minutes. It was a bear move. 20 minutes. It broke below 398 and 404 and hit 392. And then guess what? Okay, the Bears lost control. They lost control. Right here, you reclaim 398, you reclaim 404, and look at that 3-day move to 438. So right now with NVIDIA here, I also would not be chasing it up at 440. Okay, you chase 4 or 5 day up moves, chances are over time you're going to lose money. Okay, the time to have switched gears was right here. This was a big neckline, but guess what? It served as support, not as a trap door for lower prices. Why? Because you knew the rubber match spot. Anyway, you guys want to do a shot? Let's do a shot. It's not tequila. It's not vodka. It's ginger. A little cayenne ginger. Anybody out there have some ginger shots? This also is good. Good for the immune system, especially during the winter time. All right, place your bets. Am I rolling the shoulders? Or I can do the head because it's got some cayenne pepper. Let's see what the Alpha team says. All right, who says I'm going to roll the shoulders? Who says I'm going to do a neck shoulder thing or a head, or I'm going to stay straight? Sometimes it's hard to stay straight. No movement. Any guesses? Let's see. You guys sleeping? You guys watching on the 6:30 Club? And you have this on. You can see the video. You can only hear. Little flinch. So you got to watch it on the 6:30 Club like everyone else. Okay. For some reason, it's not coming through the telecaster. So listen. Here we go. Little flinch. Cheers. All right. Here's to technical analysis that unites continents. Here's to those of you who are working on your process and netted some money this week that made the right decisions based on the right conditions. And cheers to you. If you're just trying to stand up for what you believe in, because if you don't stand up for what you believe in, you're always sitting on your tush. Cheers. Ooh. Ha. That one was hot. All right, I lost. Whoa. My eyes are tearing. Trying to kill me over there. Anyway, that'll wake you up. All right, let's move forward here a little bit. You got the shoulder roll, you got the head thing, you need a little bit of everything. So anyway, the TLTs also became a really good trade. The past 2 weeks, I've been accumulating the TLT calls. For those on the Alpha team, they've been doing the same thing as that. So PS, we got paid yesterday. I rolled those up also, where it was, you weren't paying much premium, and I do think we could see 88-ish, okay, which would be the next spot. So that wound up being well. So a lot of different things. The TLTs worked, high beta tech worked, playing the indices worked, some of the leaders worked, some pro earnings gap worked, but none of these things are going to work for you if you don't know what you're looking for and if you don't think clearly enough to execute. Because I know it hasn't been an easy year or so. So if you came in this week frazzled and a shell of yourself and not thinking clearly, chances are you didn't react and do the things you wanted to do. If that's the case, it's fine also. this type of action is going to clear up, I think, and make trading a little bit better the next month or two. Doesn't mean things have to go straight up. It just means you could have better action, more give, bigger ranges. You have more participation now. You saw the small caps wake up. Like some guys are, why are you an AI, Red Dog? Well, you have a bunch of day ones. This was a day one. Okay, sometimes a day one leads to more action. It's not 48, it's down here. Okay, and everyone's still kind of positive on AI. So, that's something. You don't need to go with everything, but you go with a few things. Okay. Um, uh, Gold, I'm not in gold. Somebody asked me about gold, but as long as gold holds this moving average here, it looks like GLD can continue to the upside. Okay, GLD had a really nice move. So for those of you that have gold in your asset allocation and you have 10% there, it rewarded you. And those of you who trade it when it's above the 8-day moving average, because that's what we do when things are above the 8 and 20-day moving average, they have some momentum and you can stay with them. All right. Anyway, wow, it's 9:05. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't beat yourself up if you didn't have the week that you thought you could have had. If you sold things early, it happens. You net money. If you shorted things too early, that happens also. It's like an all or nothing type market. For today, we're gapping up. We're getting into resistance. The oscillator was plus 45. It's probably plus 60. I'd call it a week. Let things reset up next week. Let's hope the world clears up a little bit. I'm not going to start talking about all the anti-Semitism out there, but there is a lot of it, and it's friggin' crazy. Yes, every life matters, but you also have the right to protect yourself. And some of these images that I'm seeing, the comparisons to the 1940s are ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not a far left guy. I'm not a far right guy. I'm trying to be a moderate in the middle with some common sense. And if that's not good enough for you, then you don't have to tune in next time. Listen, guys, know your role. Just respect your process, work on it, have your routine, like it so you can do it every day. Because if you don't like your routine, you know what, you're not going to be prepared for the day, and you might as well do something else. Once again, have a good weekend, guys, and take a deep breath, and we'll see how things unravel for the rest of the day.